What's up, y'all? We just got back from Cine Gear. It was a great experience. We took our V35 project there to show off our stuff, but we did get a chance to walk around and see a ton of stuff. And before we get into that, I just want to say thank you because while at the show, we had so many people come up to us that recognized us, say they watched the channel, and honestly, I never thought we'd have that kind of experience, and it's great to see that you guys are enjoying the content that we're putting out. So, thank you from Galen, from myself, really appreciate the kind words, and the event at CineGear was awesome. So let's talk about some products. Canon C400. First thing we looked at was a great camera. We're actually doing a little initial impressions on that, but it was great to see it at the show. I think it's gonna be a very popular camera. If we all start working again, let's hope for the best, but I think it's gonna be really popular, great price point, feature rich. It's gonna be really popular. I think it's got legs and still room to go if Canon wants to drop something a little bigger. So next, let's talk about Blackmagic. It's really cool to go to their booth and see everything happening there. You know, I wasn't so much into the Pixis until I saw it in person. It's got a great build quality and the image looked really good. So actually I kind of maybe have changed my mind since going to CineGear on getting one here at the shop. That Ursa 12K looks like a tank and I really, really, really want that camera. They also had the 17K there, the big like Alexa 65mm style camera. That thing is bonkers. They had it in a case. That I am super duper duper curious about getting hands-on and shooting some footage with. I think that thing is going to be a killer and gives cinematographers a whole new way to see the world, being that the 65 is a pretty rare camera from, Arri, and not everybody gets the chance to play with that. So moving on, Sony had a really cool booth with a really cool set, lots of great lenses there. That was really fun to see. One last camera to talk about, Panasonic GH7. We didn't really get any footage of it, but if you're a micro four thirds shooter, looks like a great upgrade from previous systems. I would sure like to get my hands on one to play with one. Now that it's got log C integrated, it might be kind of a fun thing to pair with some old Super 16 primes to kind of have a new fun look. It's still stuck in that kind of mirrorless style form factor, but outside of that, kind of excited. Aperture was there showing off some of their new stuff that was really cool, the Infinimats, the XT26. It was my first time actually seeing the XT26 and some of the larger lights. While I really love the output, damn, that ballast is huge. It comes like on a dolly. I think it's gonna be pretty popular in larger markets, but it's gonna take up a lot of room on a truck. Not sure if we're gonna get one here, but I really appreciate what Aperture's doing, stepping into the higher market for stuff. Because we all know that more tools for cinematographers is fantastic when the budgets allow. Moving on from there, I stopped by a brand that I didn't really have a whole lot of experience with and was honestly really impressed. Godox, I've known them and have been following them for a while, but their booth, they have some really great, functional, super accurate, really well thought out fixtures. And it might be the first time where I'm very interested in maybe bringing some products in to test in our shop after playing with them on the floor. So my thoughts on the Godox, that was kind of the one brand that I was really stoked on. Also, I always stop by Hudson's booth. They're my absolute favorite light fixture. The Spider is killer, the Mozzie, they're doing some other stuff now that's really fun that I wanted to check out. So if you don't know about Hudson and the Spider system and the Mozzies, check them out. They're really cool. We'll put a link below. Next, moving on, want to talk about maybe some rigging for cameras. We'll talk about a few booths there. Condor Blue had some really great stuff on display for a new hand grip system that I immediately was like, I want to put an order in. It is great, well thought out. Grips are super comfortable, easy to use on the fly without having to crank levers and stuff. The quick release is really fun. Their new matte box looks really great. And overall, Condor Blue is starting to develop some really well thought out products, and we might start bringing some of that into our shop as well. Going on from here, Mid 49. They just continuously amaze me with everything they're doing from a cage perspective. We have them on our Buranos and our GFX here. After seeing it on the Komodo and seeing some of the other stuff they're working on, it might just be one of those things where I switch every cage in our shop to a Mid 49 because they are just so robust, so sturdy, so well thought out, and the price point is still not ballooned like crazy like some other manufacturers. So really enjoy what Ryan and Elizabeth are doing at Mid 49 and just hope they continue to develop some stuff there. Moving on to Bright Tangerine, they're doing really cool stuff there. And they have a really great modular base plate shoulder system that is compatible with some of the Bud systems on Alexa 35, Mini LF, that really allow you to jump between platforms super fast and still be in the Bright Tangerine ecosystem without having to use some of Aries stuff. So, or if you do have some, it's compatible. So that one's really great. Want to give a shout out to Rob. They're fantastic, and I always appreciate what their team is doing and thinking forward. Super love Bright Tangerine. Next, I just want to talk about power. We have a ton of stuff here from Core. I personally love this business. They're always friendly to us, and I just love how forward thinking they are. And we stopped by their booth, and they just have a whole new battery system that to me is the evolution of batteries. And I'm debating getting rid of all of our batteries here at the shop and replacing them all with this system, but it's basically a new form of P-tap that makes it so there's no power surge. You don't have to worry about SDI blowouts anymore. It tells you on all their cables what the voltage is for what kind of pin system. It is just so well thought out, and you can basically put two right next to each other because it's a little smaller footprint. So out of one battery, you can have two power sources running off the same thing. Some of them are dual voltage. It's just a really cool system, and I'm really excited to see what that can be like, and I'm just so grateful for Zach Shannon and the crew over there for taking the time to really walk us through that and demo it, because really, I think that's going to be a great evolution of battery power and supply moving forward for a multitude of cameras, lights, etc. So Core, if you haven't seen their stuff, go check it out. Next up, we're gonna talk about lenses, because as you might know, we love lenses here. And first off, we're gonna start with Viltrox and their crazy Luna Zoom. Now this thing is a monster. It's probably unaffordable for basically everybody. It's $65,000 a piece, but as an engineering feat, a 30-300 10x folds Vista coverage T4 lens, kind of crazy. Really like that lens, excited to see what that looks like. Moving over to Bazaar, they had a great booth with all the stuff. We have our Remus here, they're still very popular, but wanted to see some of the new stuff and talk to them about their Super 35 version, the Katos. They all look really cool. Heavy character, if you love that, really like what Bazaar is doing, and for the price point, man, kind of a no-brainer to get into their family of lenses, and everyone at the booth was really, really friendly. Now, let's talk about something also a little bit more expensive, Second Reef. They came out with their Coral anamorphics, which are 1.5x with some eye data. Maybe it's XD data, I can't remember offhand, but super cool, blue shell, kind of looks like our Shep's microphone we're using right here. And character, but not heavy character. It's very usable. I would say you could use this in a lot of scenarios, and they've got some stuff built into the iris to make that bokeh look a little stretchier. $36K per lens, I believe, somewhere in there, so it's very expensive, probably a rental-only item, but super cool that people are doing more stuff in the 1.5 market. Very excited to see that. Now let's talk about Sigma. The Sigma wasn't showing anything new in their cinema lineup, but they had a really, really, really cool photo zoom that, if you're shooting video, it still works great, but it's 28-45 f1.8. That's crazy for a full frame zoom. Now, we went there, played with it, focus felt good, mechanics felt good. Most of our photo lenses we have here at our shop are all Sigma, so I very much enjoy them as a brand from a functionality and look standpoint. But this zoom's crazy, can't wait for it to come out. I think it's gonna be a really great interview lens that's just solid on full frame to be really anywhere in that 28, 32, 40, maybe getting close on the 40. I think it just gives you so much range on an interview lens to kind of have a large amount of fall off behind somebody. So very excited about what that lens is gonna look like. Even from a gimbal standpoint, it's not so large that you couldn't get it on a small gimbal. So really pumped for what Sigma's doing with that. I think that's gonna be a very popular lens for them, and we're very excited to get one here in the shop. Next up, something I thought was super cool was the booth next to us was showing off a really cool rehousing of the Arri Master Anamorphics. And what they're doing basically is putting a tuned expander on the back of the Master Anamorphics and then rehousing them to give full frame coverage and a little bit more character to the Master Anamorphics. Now, I personally love them. They're super clean. I get to shape them all I want in post, but if you wanted something a little more rough around the edges, this looks like a great upgrade program for owners of Master Anamorphics if they want a little bit more character out of their set. Moving over to DZO, they were showing off their R-list primes. Now, Arliss, Arl, Arle, however you wanna say this, they're awesome frickin' lenses. Now, awesome being like if I put a grading chart out, they succeed in very high marks across the board. Sharpness, MTF, contrast, focal plane, distortion, mechanically, breathing. I mean, they're great, great lenses. Well, they might not have the hugest fan base going forward just based on how clean they are, but we immediately got these into our tuning shop at the V35 project, and we're trying to make another version of these very, very, very soon that will give you kind of the best of all those qualities, but with a little more vintage aesthetic that we've based on the Takumar lenses of the past. So the lenses themselves are fantastic, and if you are a clean shooter, if you want dock stuff, if you're a corporate shooter, these things are gonna be killer for the price point. Literally killer. I think they're gonna sell very well. Price point somewhere in the 10,000 range for 5 primes that are all T14 and cover full VistaVision. If you haven't had a chance yet, find them in a show, play with them. They're really, really cool. Last but not least, because it's a Z, we're going with Zeiss, and we're going to be talking about just their nano primes. We've covered these before, but they were on the show floor, and they are getting popular, and it seems like they're developing some new mounts for them, which is really great. But again, if you like that Supreme Prime look, but you're on a mirrorless format, really great entry point for a very affordable cost, $26K, I believe, for 6 lenses, which is super cool, all things considered. T15, typical Zeiss look, very sharp, very neutral, great performing across the board. So yeah, awesome stuff from Zeiss. Very excited to see that start getting out to the public here very shortly. And last but not least, for the first ACs out there, I wanna talk about a couple things that I still think are really great. My buddy Jason, who used to be here in Seattle, runs a company, put a link down below. They are making power for your carts. So basically turning your equipment carts into electric assist, so now you can drive them around set. No more hoofing stuff around. Awesome stuff. I'm so glad to see Jason, who's a very talented first AC, and his crew really making a cool product to basically save all of our backs. Because you know what? It'd be great to work until we're very old in this profession without having to retire and walk like this everywhere. So really cool stuff from them. Also, Creative Solutions came out with a new hand wheel for the Teradek RT system, and stopping by and playing with that, this thing is insane. Insanely feature rich, and the fact that it integrates with all of the other stuff that Creative Solutions has, like Small HD and Wooden Camera and all their other kind of like cable systems. This is super fun. We have a Teradek system here, the RT, and I definitely think we're gonna upgrade our hand wheel to get this because this is next level. With next level comes a lot of complexity in terms of firmware and upkeep, but if it performs well and really is solid, I think this is gonna be a very, very useful hand unit for a lot of people because personally, I really like the long range and consistency of the Teradek RT system here at the shop. And it does go out every once in a while, so I think it'd be a useful upgrade moving forward for us. And that functionality, man, you can do so much with it. So I really give them kudos for thinking that product out and still continuing to upgrade and do things with that product line. So, and last but not least, I just want to talk about quickly the V35 project. It was the first time we've shown off so many new lenses, and we've been spending so much time developing these. It was so great to see so many people come to our booth and be interested. YouTubers, ASC shooters, people across the board. Everyone was interested in what we were doing, and we honestly couldn't be happier to really start doing something unique in the marketplace. And if you came by our booth, I just wanna give you a huge, huge shout out and a huge thank you for spending some time with us at the show and seeing what we're doing. We're really excited about it. We'll leave a link below if you haven't heard about it, but basically we are optically re-engineering and reimagining modern lenses to make them look vintage. So it was really cool to have all of our stuff on display and see so many people and talk with so many DPs. It really feels exciting for us. And basically, that's all we can ask for. We love it. We love what we're doing with it. And we're out here working for all of you shooters out there that want a little more character and a little more option on the market. So thank you to everybody who came by our booth, said hi, wanted to spend time. We super duper appreciate it and really look forward to going back hopefully next year to the Warner Brothers lot to spend more time at CineGear and meet more people. If there's anything you have questions about, leave a comment below. We'll try to answer any questions. But thank you so much. Remember, like and subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next one.